How's it going, everybody? It's Prod here, and welcome back to another Sekiro video. So, just a couple of hours ago, there was some new info released on Sekiro. A couple different things, from online components that the game, well, won't have. Some gameplay info, including stuff like progression and how that works. But there's not a lot at the moment, and I think there's going to be more throughout the week. So you have that to look forward to. This is coming from Game Informer. They actually have a bunch of new info. They have an interview with Miyazaki. They have, new gameplay. So you guys can look forward to the new gameplay. You guys, it's a very small snippet of gameplay at the moment. I think they're going to have more, probably even new boss footage. I don't think I can show it because it's, watermarked to hell. And I don't want to get copyright striked. So you guys can go check it out yourselves. I'm going to link it in the description. Now, there is quite a bit to read throughout the couple articles that they did make. So I'm just going to kind of go over the fine points, the important parts that I know you guys care about. So first of all, the online play, right? We kind of knew already that this wasn't going to really have any type of multiplayer. Obviously, no co-op. We thought maybe we might see some, spirits walking around, messages. Turns out there's probably not going to be any of that. It is kind of sad, but I don't think it's going to be the trend of the future. They specifically said, From Software isn't necessarily abandoning that part of its legacy, talking about PvP, co-op, multiplayer, the messages that people leave, but it's taking a bit of a detour for now. The marketing manager, Kitao, who always does interviews and stuff, said himself, and I quote, "We hope players are looking forward to something in the future where we might go back to that, talking about online components, but for now, Sekiro is very much its own thing." So yeah, we kind of knew that already, we weren't really going to have co-op, PvP, any of that stuff. But at least one cool thing comes out of not having online, and that is that you can now pause the game. Obviously, there's a couple of reasons, invasions are a big factor on probably why you couldn't really pause Dark Souls as a whole. But apparently now you can pause Sekiro, even though, pausing in Dark Souls is kind of like you kill the enemies and then you just sit in the corner and you go use the bathroom or something. So while that is kind of a bummer and that is kind of sad news that was pretty much confirmed of something we already knew, we did also get some info on how the progression system is going to work. Again, we kind of knew some of these things, but it's cool to see a couple of new things that I didn't really know about. So first of all, of course, there are no upgrade levels the same way you see in Dark Souls. There is no strength, no dex. What there is going to be in this game are skill trees. There's going to be different skill trees for different things. For example, there's stuff like the samurai skill tree, which is stuff that upgrades your weapon movesets. You can do different moves for the weapons. There's stuff for your prosthetics where you can get different equipment and attachments for your prosthetics, like, they have shurikens, they have a little hand axe that lets you break shields and also damage enemies. They also have stuff that helps improve buffs. So this is the way the progression is going to work, but it's not going to be, just like that from the start. What you're going to have to do is actually find a specific item through exploring, and I'm guessing it's probably not going to be too hard to find because it's actually pretty goddamn important. The whole game's skill tree is going to be hidden in it. So I can't imagine they're going to be like, oh yeah, it's at the end of the game in a random corner after you beat the third boss's second health phase, and if you don't get it then, you won't ever be able to get it. It's probably going to be like, hey, we're in the first 20 minutes of the game. What is that weird barrel that it's in the middle of nowhere that can be broken? There might be something in it. So there is a progression system, These skill trees allow you to have an upgrade through your specific playstyle. Do you want to be more defensive? Do you want to be stealthier? You can do that. You can upgrade the skill trees to have different skills that allow you to sneak around and not really be seen. You can have things that are super offensive, where you're basically running in there, you suck at stealth, like me. I might be doing that one. And you have moves that have, big spin attacks that are crowd control. You could hit multiple people at the same time. And I believe you can also do, I don't know why you wouldn't be able to do, different level ups through different skill trees to have kind of like a mixture and variety of all of them. I believe the currency you use to level up in the skill trees is called gold, and that gold is dropped by the enemies, which you can then use, and the skill tree is used whenever, basically, like the little bonfire that we have seen in the gameplays, the little statues. But they have kind of confirmed that there are going to be like no weapons, no armors. We kind of knew that already, which is a huge bummer. I know that, like Dark Souls, it's so different. But again, I'm not even comparing this game to Dark Souls. I'm going to say it's a Souls-like just because it kind of has that same gameplay mechanic. And it's made by From Software. But, it is super different from Dark Souls. You know, Dark Souls has such a different progression system, and it's definitely not like this game doesn't have a progression system. Like, you're not going to notice a difference from the beginning of the game till, you know, halfway through the game. You know, you're going to have different movesets, you're going to have different attachments for your prosthetic arm, which is going to help a lot. There won't be much of a visual difference, I don't think. I think the look of you, your armor, your weapon, sadly, is almost always going to be the same. Maybe you can change the little knot on your hair, but I really doubt it. I think that's definitely one of the biggest bummers, right? There is no variety like in Dark Souls, but one thing that this game I think is going to have is a pretty tight boss fight mechanic, because instead of focusing on a bunch of different stuff that they can do, in Dark Souls, you know, you got mages, pyromancers, faith builds, you got a bunch of different types of weapons. In this game, they really only had to focus on a couple of things. You're one guy, you have one katana and a couple of different prosthetics on your arm. That means they know your limitations pretty well with what you can do with your weapons, so they can have boss fights that are super focused on just one thing rather than all these different things. And of course, having co-op in Dark Souls, you have 3 fucking pyromancers, mages all around the boss, just annihilating it. This will allow them to focus and probably make the bosses really goddamn hard and have really tight mechanics to them that make them fun and interesting and unique almost every single time. At least that's what I think. Now, one of the things that they did say, which was kind of interesting, the skill tree actually does not affect the health. What's actually going to affect your health and your stance, your overall posture, which is basically like your new stamina system. If your posture goes all the way up, that is that little bar, little orange bar at the bottom. I believe you can be riposted as well, but that also works the same way for enemies. You know, their posture bar, if their posture bar goes all the way up, you can riposte them and basically get a big crit attack. The way you're going to be able to upgrade those and have more health and posture is by finding items throughout the world. Specifically, they said that there are 4 items, some prayer beads that will increase both of those things. And they did specify that there are hidden rooms in the game, so that's maybe where you'll be able to find a bunch of different upgrade stuff. And we'll see, man. Maybe they pop some surprise weapons in there. I wouldn't be shocked if they do that. But I guess that's really the couple of major points that I wanted to get to in this video. You know, there's going to be more info probably throughout the next month. The cover of the Game Informer is Sekiro. It's a really cool cover. You guys can go look at it. Like I said, I'll link the little article in the description. They have a little video in there showing some new boss gameplay. You know, the boss that I really, really wanted to see, which is the, I think it's like old man or old lady walking on the wires where there's fire everywhere. And we're probably going to get more info and more gameplay throughout the month. So I'll definitely be covering that. If anything interesting or new happens, or let's just say they upload some gameplay that other people can upload, then I'll make a video talking about that and showing it to you guys as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. Ah, man, why can't it be March 22nd already? I'm just counting the days at this point. Cannot wait to play Sekiro, man. I cannot wait to play Sekiro. And I'm sure you guys are very excited for the game as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it this far, maybe consider dropping a like. Thank you very much. And I'll talk to you all later. Peace, everybody.